What's up, guys? Corey Smith here, CoreFX, bringing you another weekly pre-week market analysis video. This is the technical analysis version of the video. If you watched my last video, I'll go over the more so fundamental analysis, what's going on in the news events, what's going on around the world in each individual country. I cover each country's index on a technical chart, and then I go over what to expect for this week, what events to look for. Again, this is Corey Smith with CoreFX coming to you through T3 Live, bringing you another pre-week technical analysis video. I'm going to go ahead and jump through these charts here. I cover the U.S. major pairs, all the U.S. dollar crosses, and then I hop into a few of the charts I'm going to have on my watch list to begin the week. And I hope you guys like these videos. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment below if you have any recommendations of stuff you want covered, or if you just want to give a comment on what you like, don't like about the videos. I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe and like everything here, and I appreciate it, guys. Check it out, core.fx on Instagram, and I'm going to go ahead and hop into the charts here. So starting with the US dollar, the most heavily traded pair in Forex, the Euro-US dollar, we have all year price was in a strong uptrend. This is the daily chart that I analyze on here. We were in an uptrend all year. We had this little triple top head and shoulders formation, and we had the uptrend violated with this move downward, and then this really broke structure here, setting a lower low. Then we came up, we thought might have been a lower high and continuation downward, but we then broke this trend and set a higher high, higher low, higher high. And now we have retested this higher low, and structure has not been violated yet. But we really don't have any clear trends, nothing really too nice going on, nothing too, convincing. And we don't want to be trading anything that's not convincing and obvious and jumping out at us and screaming higher, lower, or whatever. But all in all, there are some things going on with this pair. One of them, as I can see here on the daily chart, is I'm starting to see an inverted head and shoulders here. As you can see here, we've got the left shoulder that formed, the head came down here, and now a right shoulder seems like it could be forming. However, if we drop this down a time frame really quick to the 4-hour chart, we're seeing quite the opposite, and we actually have an upright head and shoulders right here. So until this neckline comes down and is broken, it's not a head and shoulders pattern, but this is another thing to look for. So we have two different time frames telling us two different stories. And I don't like trading charts that are doing that. I don't like mixed signals. I don't like when there's not agreement across time frames, especially when you're a trend trader like myself. I look for the different time frames agreeing with each other and all telling me the same story. That's how you get the highest probability and the greatest edge in your trading, is when you have agreement across indicators, across tools, across time frames, across charts. So when I'm not getting an agreement and I'm having a conflicting view from different time frames, that's typically going to tell me that I don't really want to look for opportunities on this pair. There are plenty of other charts to analyze. So start the week, at least I'm not going to really be looking for the euro dollar to be doing anything for me, as I'm just getting mixed signals here. But pound, on the other hand, as you guys know, we went over how we were stuck in this range for a couple months here. Price was just chopping between support and resistance, so we had a higher high, a higher low, and then we couldn't seem to break out of this range, but we now have broken out to set a higher high from this range. We haven't broken this higher high, but from the shorter term trend view, we broke a higher high here, pulled back, and this strong weekly zone here, if I switch it to the weekly chart, you'll see a little better. You see this strong weekly zone, all these failed attempts to break it, failed attempt, strong break, and strong break when it does break it, but all this movement around it. And you can see it again on the daily when I zoom in. You can see all this rejection bouncing off it. We are now back down to it. Now, what I don't like about this chart is this big bearish candle. That is a very bearish momentum candle. It's showing a lot of bears in this chart, and that does scare me. I will not, although my bias is that I think it could potentially continue this uptrend and move higher off of here, I am not going to even be thinking about that until I get some kind of confirmation that this level is rejecting price. Whatever it may be, one of the things that adds to this zone being strong, if I throw the Fibonacci here, You can see it's a 50% fib level as well. So we have 50% fib. Price is trending in the right direction. 20 is above the 50, 20 is sloping upward. Price is above the 50 SMA. However, this strong daily bearish close did scare me. So what I would like to see is the week start with maybe something like this, maybe a a hammer candle rejection off this zone, a long lower wick, and a small upper body, showing that price tried to push lower, but the buyers came back in. Some kind of reversal off of here. Maybe you want to trade a smaller time frame. You know, that's not the best area, but like a counter trend line reversal, break of this trend line, continue higher, whatever it may be. I would wait for some kind of confirmation, but definitely like the upside potential here out of the pound dollar. Then we have the dollar CAD. This one, again, we are in an uptrend. We broke this downtrend here, as you can see with this trend line. Price was following. We broke this to the upside, set a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we've been range bound between this higher high and higher low here. So we do have a strong zone that we're bouncing between. We respected this uptrend line once, hit it again here. Now, we are back up to this strong zone here. This was a very nice supply zone off this strong move lower. Price hit it the first time, sold off. Hit it the second time, sold off. We're now hitting it a third time. Price has been making higher lows as we're coming up to it. So I would like to see a break of this to the upside, which would mean that Canadian dollar chart that I analyzed in the last video would break the low base it's into the downside. So have to wait and see. But overall, I am looking a little bit more on the bullish side of things for the dollar CAD. Aussie dollar, we had a very strong week out of the Aussie this week, and it had a trend changing higher high set, breaking this strong resistance that we had here where this box is. Again, we were in a beautiful downtrend, setting lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This rallied up, and we thought it could have reversed somewhere around here and continued downward, but it didn't. It blew through the trend line, blew through resistance, hit the 50 SMA, failed to break it, and price is sitting back up here above this resistance, now turned support. So definitely trend changing view. Nothing too crazy yet. We're still below the 50. We're still moving downward. But the first step of my analysis of a trend, I have multiple ways to analyze a trend here at CoreFX. The first step is going to be analyzing the market structure. And you can see we set a new higher high as far as market structure goes. So the first defense of a trend reversing has been broken. This trend line also is in play here as being violated. So early stages of a trend reversal, but we'll have to wait and see this week if the Aussie just continues back down lower and gets back to this downtrend, or does in fact continue higher. New Zealand dollar, same kind of story. We've got this beautiful downtrend we were in. Price came down last week. I did say that this could be a bear pennant, but I also covered how it could be a falling wedge in a downtrend, a reversal pattern. So we were waiting for a break of the pattern either way, and we had a break to the upside and a lot of follow through with that break. So we did get a lot of follow through with that break to the upside. As you can see here, this New Zealand dollar broke out with this strong bullish candle and then continued to really strongly bust out for the rest of the week. And we did break above this resistance area here, broke this structure, set a new higher high. What I'm expecting could happen is it could rally lower, hit this area here of this strong resistance turn support, and then continue higher potentially. Dollar yen, not my favorite chart, really not too clear of a trend in any way. Sloppy, could be the beginning of an uptrend. We had this lower low set, and we thought we could have gotten a lower high off this resistance and continued lower, but then it broke that again, and so now we've got this trend-changing move here of what could have been a downtrend, now set a higher high, came down, set a higher low, and if you take a closer look here at this chart, what's telling me it could be moving higher still, aside from that, is you can see we do have a strong zone in here. And I know that because we had price bounce off it and resist it, and then a strong break. Resisted it here, strong break, tried to pass under again, resisted it, touched it again, strong push, hitting it again, also 20 SMA. And what do we have here? We have a tweezer bottom, we have a bullish engulfing candle. After this is kind of spinning top-ish, and this is telling me we could be going higher. Also, this strong zone's a Fibonacci level. pull out the tool. We got that 50% Fibonacci again. So really could be moving higher, but not any great trending clear moves. You guys know I'm a trend trader. I like seeing clear, strong moving trends. This isn't telling me that, but if I had to pick a direction I was aiming for the yen to go to start the week, it would be to the upside. Then we have the Swiss franc. Dollar Swiss, again, not too pretty of a chart. We had a strong uptrend for a while. Then we had a pullback, what could have been a downtrend. But now it's back to moving up. If you look at this from a weekly time frame, you can see this was the downtrend line on the weekly that we were respecting. It did break it, pull back to retest it. If we throw a Fibonacci out here on the weekly chart, which is very powerful, we see that we hit the 382 fib. Actually came down and hit the 50, sorry. Hit the 50 fib right on that strong weekly support and that weekly trend line. Bounced strong bullish conviction off it. We had a little bit of a sell-off this week. However, I would say this is going to be most likely continuing higher as well. We had this break of this trend line, retest here, set a higher high, trend changer. You can see here it's labeled this higher high here. Hit weekly resistance, sold off, hit this higher low here, and then now we could see this continue higher to give us a new higher high, come up here and retest this prior swing high back here. Again, none of this is certain. This is all just the bias we're getting to begin the week. And we'll have to wait and see how the price action plays out. But to begin the week, this is where I'll be aiming. Moving on to the CAD yen. If you follow my Instagram, I did call for CAD yen short up here. When we had this test of this trend line, this weekly resistance, we had this shooting star candle followed by a doji and strong bearish follow after. And I was calling for shorts again when we came back up here, and we got another strong move lower. So I'm still expecting this pair to move down and set a lower low this week. Nothing too crazy to start the week, but I will be looking for short opportunities if they present themselves in this pair. Another yen pair I like is the euro yen. I don't particularly like it in a sense of anything other than it has been in an extremely range bound state since September. This support really around 130, 150 and the resistance at 134 have both held every single time price has touched it. And if you look here, we've got one all through here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches to it. Either way this pair breaks, we're going to see some movement. So if it breaks to the downside, we're going to see a strong move. Breaks the upside, we're going to see a strong move. Either way, I'm looking at this pair for a break one way or the other, but this is a very strong move. I would like to see it break to the upside as we've been in a nice bull market in a high base pattern here, but we'll have to wait and see. Just another one of those pairs that could have some strong moves. Pound CAD, as you guys can see, we've been in this uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Last time we made this higher low, we got a bounce. It didn't quite set a new higher high, but it has consolidated here. We've got what looks like a bull pennant, as you guys can see here. Price is consolidating. We're getting this bullish pattern. And as you see, we closed the week with this strong daily hammer candle. So this wick tried to push down below this strong daily resistance, below this strong support, as we got with this red line here, and buyers stepped in and pushed price back up above it. So we closed with this strong reversal pattern. If we throw a fib from this last strong move upward, we can see we are on the 382 level. So it's definitely a strong fib level. Definitely price action telling us that this week we could see a potential move back up to the upside. The last pair I want to analyze with you guys here is going to be the Euro Swiss franc. And this isn't my favorite pair in the world to trade as they are highly correlated. However, as you can see on this chart, price has been making higher lows all the way up, has been resecting this resistance. We have an ascending triangle forming here, and this is a trend continuation pattern in an uptrend. But you can see this lower trend line starting to be broken. And what this is showing me is one way or another, price has been condensed so much here. We are going to see a strong move. I would like to see it to the upside as that's the direction of the trend, and that's the direction of this resistance being held. And if it finally breaks, we could see a very explosive move upward. But it could just as easily break the bottom line, break the uptrend line, and see a strong sell-off after the break. So either way, another pair I like to look at for opportunities. We'll have to wait and see what the markets show us this week. This is just giving us a game plan to begin the week and have an idea of what to be looking for. So, just wanted to thank you guys again for stopping by. Let me know how you liked the video. Share some feedback if you want me to cover anything in particular. I will quickly, while I'm here, I've had some requests. I'll cover gold real quick. Another chart that I really like. As we saw last week, we had a very strong sell-off in gold. Hit this support. I told you guys we'd probably see a bounce, and that's what we've seen. If you throw a fib out here from this strong move downward to this support, you can see we're approaching the 382, which is also this strong weekly resistance. So this is a good area to short gold, in my opinion. If you have some kind of a reversal here, I would see a good opportunity to hop back on shorting it. Have to wait and see, but that is something I'm liking there. And then the S&P 500, nothing's changed with this chart. We're still ripping higher. Nothing's questioning this upward move. Nothing's making me think it could be coming to an end. It is still pointing upwards, and that is really all there is to say there, because until there's anything changing this outlook and this price action, U.S. equities and the S&P 500 look to be continuing higher, especially if this tax reform goes through here. This is something that's really heavily been followed, and although it's priced into the market for a while now, if we start seeing some impacts from it, we could see this bull market continue. But thank you guys. Corey Smith here, Core FX. I appreciate you tuning in. Keep an eye on my Instagram. I got a training course coming out soon, and I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you all next week.